Namaste ji, namaste. So in the previous 3 lectures, we had discussed up till question number 61. Well, not technically because इनकी numbering थोड़ी उल्टी सीधी दे रखी है in this question paper. But up till here, we had discussed each and everything of the DULLB 2020 question paper. So let's continue that and finish off all the legal questions. उसके बाद 5-7 logical के बच जाएंगे. That we'll see in the next lecture. Okay, so question number 61 says, which among the following is an international treaty related to the protection of the ozone layer? Now this is a purely static GK related question. Anytime that you take a law entrance, especially a central university one, especially a 3-year law entrance, the international treaties and United Nations you have to cover in and out. There is no way that you can afford to take a law entrance without this. So now this is purely a static GK related sawal, nothing to explain Montreal or Montreal Protocol as the answer is given to you. Question number 62, if you say, and oh by the way, the link to the question paper, everything is down in the description below. The United Nations Program on Reducing Emissions from Deforestation, Forest Degradation, or UNREDD program is a collaborative program of the, now again, this is purely a static GK related question. Nothing pretty much that you can do about it. Now either you know these questions or either you don't know these questions. So to boost up your prep, after seeing these questions, you should get an idea that there is no way on the planet that you can afford to take this law entrance without your static GK in place. Alright. So take a hint from here. Do not under any circumstances, these 2 questions should tell you, as I've said again and again over almost 100 times on this channel, because right now there are about 100 plus videos in the DULLB preparation playlist. It is really helpful. If you're preparing on your own, you can explore that playlist. That do not skip United Nations. The organs, the related organizations, the specialized agencies, you need to know them in and out. Okay. Now, which of the following is a legal effect of adoption? Adoption से याद आया, adoption and adaptation में फर्क है. अगर A लगा दूं तो मतलब totally different हो जाता है. Can be a good English related question. So it is giving you all of these options. The answer is in section 12 of the Hindu Adoptions Act. Adoption and maintenance, I believe that's the full form, right? So an adopted child shall be deemed to be the child of his or her adoptive father or mother. ये रहा आपका option A. With effect from the date of adoption, from such dates, all the ties of the child in the family of his or her birth shall be deemed to be severed. That is option B. So therefore, the correct answer is option C. That is both A and B. That is how you pretty much prepare decently well for a law entrance. That when you have covered things in detail, you can pretty much, because you have the potential to even identify what is the question that the examiner can create. And that is our teaching approach in our online courses for DULLB and other related law entrances. Under Muslim law, legal guardian may, now see, it's very easy for me to give you pravachan that you should be knowing this. I kid you not. There is no way on the planet that a LLB aspirant, unless and until aapka naseeb bahut acha that you have read this specific thing already, I suggest to leave such questions. These are balls way outside the off stump. The examiner doesn't want you to touch them, because if your core constitution, IPC, contract, torts and static GK, current affairs, etc. is good enough, you need not even bother with such questions, because such questions are endless. In Muslim law, any which way, there is no fixed bare act, right? Now, answer is all of these, but again, आंसर लिखा हुआ है तो मैं भी आसानी से बता पा रहा हूँ. बट अगर क्वेश्चन अगर ऐसे एग्जाम में आता है और ये ऑप्शन 3 आता है, acknowledge a debt on behalf of the child, I too will be left scratching whatever hair is left on my head. ठीक है जी. तो कृपया करके इन क्वेश्चंस पे ना फोकस करें कि मेरे को इन क्वेश्चंस के लिए तैयारी करनी, नहीं, आपको एक डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन के लिए तैयारी करनी है. We're just coming to that. Focus your strengths elsewhere. Right. Now, degree of prohibited relationship is applicable between 2 persons if they are related by full blood, half or uterine blood, adoption, all of these. Homework for you. Full blood, half or uterine blood, etc. etc. Please go into the details. What are these? Please mark them. Now, section 3 of the Hindu Marriage Act, and in fact even Special Marriage Act में भी दे रखा होगा. These are prohibited relationships, right? It will explain to you relationship by half or uterine blood as well as by full blood, right? Relationship by adoption as well as blood. आ गया question, बन गया, and therefore the correct option is option D. We take a section, we break it apart, question बना के दे देंगे. It's as simple as that, right? Which of the following is provided in section 7 of the Hindu Marriage Act? So that's Saptapadi, right? So ceremonies for solemnizing a Hindu marriage, ceremonies for Hindu marriage. Now this may just, so sure enough it's a legal question, may be related to a current affair because there was a news item in the Hindu back then which talked about section 7 of the Hindu Marriage Act. Maybe the examiner got inspiration from there. Now this doesn't mean that you end up rote learning all the sections of the Hindu Marriage Act, because that will be a colossal waste of time, right? And you need not even do that. The exam isn't requiring you to do that. The manager of Waqf is known as Mutawli. This is purely legal static GK. Such sort of questions used to appear once upon a time in 2010, 2011, and now it has appeared yet again. Mind you, अच्छा इसकी भी एक बेयर एक्ट, आई बिलीव द वर्क फैक्ट के अंदर सब कुछ एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है. Now this is a hint that you need to go over the 10 years. Please don't skip them, right? Which amendment of the Constitution of India reduced the voting age from 21 to 18 years? That's the 61st amendment. Now these are the type of questions that you cannot ill afford to get wrong in the exam. See, मुस्लिम के अंदर, ये मुस्लिम लॉ के अंदर अडॉप्शन का इफेक्ट क्या है? नहीं आता, कोई बात नहीं, ये नहीं आता या यहाँ पे आप गलती कर आ रहे हैं. Let us say लोकसभा seats were frozen till 2026 by which amendment? 84th, 86th. Article 21A was introduced by which amendment? Stuff such as that you cannot get incorrect in the exam. So usually क्या होता है कि as a student, and this based on my experience, I'm telling you, as a student we are all focused on those questions कि मुझे वो बताओ जो मतलब जादू हो जाए कि मुझे पता था. छोड़िए ना, 5-7 सवाल छोड़ दीजिए कि भाई तुरंत एग्जामिनर को खुश होने दीजिए कि भाई सब आप खुश हो कि आपने ऐसा प्रश्न पत्र बनाया कि हमारे सारे पूरे जिंदगी के प्रेम पत्र उड़ गए. कोई बात नहीं, खुश हो लो, लेकिन ये गलत नहीं कर सकते ना. अगर आपने इसमें 69th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट डाल दी और आपको ये नहीं पता कि वो तो दिल्ली वाली है, आर्टिकल 239 AA. और बाय द वे ये नहीं कि मेरी कोई पॉलिटी कुछ ज़्यादा एडवांस स्टेज पे है, खैर दिन रात पढ़ाते हैं, आप भी पढ़ाएंगे तो हो जाएगी. ऐसा कोई हमारे भी माथे पे डायमंड तो लगा नहीं हुआ, लेकिन ऐसी पॉलिटी आपकी होनी चाहिए. इफ़ यू विश टू लेट अस से गेट अ हॉस्टल, गेट दी टॉप रैंक्स, get a very decent enough score that is in the range of 260 270 pluses I'm talking about. Exam होता तो कट ऑफ लास्ट ईयर कितना था? 225 जनरल की बात कर, राइट? तो होता तो उससे भी ऊपर है. Now the Election Commission of India does not have the power to. This question I think was scrapped because everybody got मतलब not everybody but mostly people got a boost of 15 to 20 odd marks, but you never told us in 2020 what all questions, what all objections did they accept, because the power to re-register a political party actually is not given anywhere in Representation of People Act. So they may just be referring to that. So section 29A empowers the Election Commission to register a political party, but we last year we did significant research also, but we couldn't really find the correct answer. May have been scrapped because it's not explicitly given anywhere, but may not have been also. Any which way, this question gives you a hint that you'll need to go over details of Election Commission and its powers and the Representation of People Act, because I'll show you another question that is coming straight away from this act. Right. Now, who elects the representatives of the states in Rajya Sabha? इससे ज़्यादा आसान सवाल नहीं आ सकता पूरे पेपर के अंदर. दिस इज स्टैंडर्ड आर्टिकल 80 का इलेक्टेड मेंबर्स ऑफ द स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबलीज. अब अगर ये सवालों में दिक्कत आएगी तो आप वो मुस्लिम लॉ के अंदर अडॉप्शन के इफेक्ट रट के भी क्या कर लेंगे. ये नहीं गलत होंगे. दीज आर +4s. दीज आर बेसिकली आपको लंगर हॉल फ्री का खाना मिल रहा है यहाँ पर. कहते जी गुरु जी का प्रसाद आया आपके पास, इसमें आप +4 आपको लेने ही लेने हैं, बात खत्म. ठीक है जी, there's no way out of it. Which practices among the following constitute corrupt practice? तो corrupt practice दे रखी है सेक्शन 123 in Representation of People Act. Article 123 of the Constitution states what? Ordinance pass कराएं. Article 143 states what? Presidential reference or the advisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. इस लेवल पे आ जाए, पेपर कैसे नहीं निकलेगा हम भी देखते हैं, राइट. What can be the maximum number of, तो ये वहाँ पे definition दे रखी है. This is, अगर आपका ये section या मतलब जानकारी हो आपको इसके बारे में, this is a very simple question in fact, but if you didn't know, well, you'll have to leave this question aside. What can be the maximum number of representatives of state and union territories in the Council of States? Now mind you, this is a slightly टेढ़ा सवाल. ये लग रहा बहुत मासूम, बहुत नादान है ये टेढ़ा. One of the most studious students that I have is sitting in the faculty right now, marked it at 250. And the answer was 238 because it was asking what is maximum number of representatives of states and union territories. No, it's not talking about nominations है. तो nominations ऐड करके 12 करेंगे ना, तो आप अपर लिमिट 250 पे खींच जाएंगे तभी तो, क्योंकि एग्जामिनर भी तो, क्योंकि सास भी कभी बहू थी, उसने जानबूझ के ये ऑप्शन डाल रखा है ताकि आप पकड़े जाएं यहाँ पे, लेकिन आंसर है 238. Pro tip: read the question twice and think about it before marking in the exam. Such kind of insights are available in the entire DULB playlist. Right now, when I see the YouTube analytics, etc., these days nobody is watching all of those. Great for the competition, great for our people in our online batches. Now, an agreement consists of reciprocal promises between at least, well, it's two parties. If you go through section 2 of the Contract Act, you will find the answer there. This is pretty much, again, a very simple question if you have gone through the Contract Act. Who among the following does not have the capacity to enter into a contract? Now, I believe this question was definitely scrapped because a lot many objections were raised. So they marked the DU marked as minor, but a person convicted of an offense, because section 11 was the reasoning given, and is not disqualified. What is section 11 saying? Is not disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subject. What do you mean is not disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subject? For example, let us say that you're sitting in jail and somebody wants to enter into a contract to supply to them, let us say 5 iPhones. Will you ever be able to perform that contract? You are disqualified by law. And a person convicted of an offense may just be in jail, may not be in jail, So this is an ambiguous, and this option should have been there as per section 11, but well, they didn't mark it. And I think this is one of the very reasons that people got a plus 15, plus 20. I know one case that jumped from 195 to 220, almost made the cutoff, but he didn't, right? तो ऐसे जब वहाँ पे हुआ था तो ऑब्वियसली these 3-4 सवाल जिसके बारे में हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कशन कर चुके हैं इन पार्ट 1, पार्ट 2, पार्ट 3 ऑफ आवर DULB प्रिपरेशन. ये पिछले साल का क्वेश्चन पेपर डिस्कशन सब कुछ दिया हुआ है प्लेलिस्ट के अंदर. थोड़ा ध्यान से थोड़ी सी मेहनत करेंगे तो मिल जाएगा, क्योंकि मुझे बार बार पसंद नहीं है कि आप keep on uploading the same stuff that I've already discussed on the channel. Now, the age of majority for entering into a contract under the Indian Contract Act 1872 is standard, bare, मतलब simplest सवाल is 18 years. Contract of insurance is an example of ये भैया यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं. I'll just let you know. Quasi contract, contingent contract, both, none of these. Publicly explained on YouTube right before this exam, and I think I'll just insert a clip here. So you can watch that video and things will become clear. Now, insurance, why is it a contingent contract? So for example, भाई अगर आपकी गाड़ी ठुकेगी या आपकी गाड़ी एक्सीडेंट हुई, so for example अगर आपकी गाड़ी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ तो हम आपको पैसे देंगे. So it is dependent upon or contingent upon one condition, so therefore it's a contingent contract. Certainly not a quasi contract. Quasi means not exactly. So it looks like a contract but isn't one. But insurance mein, it satisfies all the ingredients of section 2 of the Indian Contract Act. It is definitely a contingent contract and completely valid, unless of course insurance ko chhod denge. If it's a wagering contract, then it's void except horse racing. As simple as that. ठीक है जी. We go to 77. 78. Agreement of social nature is unenforceable because it lacks. Now this is purely LLM level सवाल. This is one of those questions again which the examiner doesn't want you to touch. In fact, examiner wants you to touch so that he can score a negative on you. Leave such questions. If you have never heard, मतलब ये flight अगर बिल्कुल सर के ऊपर से निकल गई, it's perfectly understandable, acceptable. This is a LLM level का प्रश्न. Actually होता क्या, like for example, let us say आपने अपनी बीवी या गर्लफ्रेंड को कहा कि हमारी 3 महीने की एनिवर्सरी पे मैं तुम्हें एक लुई विटॉन का बैग दे दूँगा, और आपने नहीं लेके दिया, और बीवी जी कह दें कोर्ट में. It's agreement of social nature. Did you have an intention to enter into a contract? That is what the correct answer is. But this is very, very high level. Unless until you explicitly know this and you have studied about this, there is no way that you can tackle this question. Leave it. भाई दो ही तो छोड़ना है ना, कोई बात नहीं. बाकी 98 तो हैं. 98 में से अगर 70 भी करेक्ट हो गए, 65 भी हो गए, चलिए 60 हो गए, आराम से सीट आ रही है. एंड इन ऑल लाइकलीहुड विद ऑल दोज करेक्ट्स, अगर नेगेटिव ज़्यादा नहीं हुए तो यू मोस्ट लाइकली एंड अप एट CLC. क्या करना है और जीवन में वो और ऊपर की रैंक अगर हॉस्टल नहीं चाहिए तो क्या ही करेंगे. गोल्ड मेडल तो मिलता नहीं है अंदर. व्हेन वाज द लास्ट टाइम यू एनी विच वे आस्क्ड टू योर बैचमेट कि अरे कितने आए थे तुम्हारे नंबर, राइट? पॉइंट इज, in a hyper competitive examination, in a hyper competitive environment rather, you want to get in. That's about it for majority of the people, right? Now, doctrine of privity of contract implies, again, extremely simple question. You cannot afford to get these incorrect. ये तो ठीक है जी, चलो मैं मान लिया आपकी बात की, बड़ी दुखद घटना हो गई आपके साथ, ये तो आपको मतलब आना ही चाहिए. So it's between the stranger cannot enforce a contract, right? And in India, we don't have privity of consideration. That's another fun fact. In India, provision of the Indian Contract 1872 apply to citizens, persons, companies, all of these. So as we saw, piche, let me take you section 11 mein, if I can find one. Every person is competent to contract. Every person है यहाँ पे इन्होंने natural, juristic कुछ mention नहीं करा. Obviously citizens के ऊपर तो Indian Contract Act और किसके ऊपर होगी, enemy aliens पे तो नहीं होगी, right? Persons, companies. So therefore option is all of the above. Very, very simple question, not explicitly given anywhere in the Contract Act. This is almost your intelligence will make you tackle this question. Product patent in India was introduced in 2005. This is a prashna of static legal GK, because up till then we had process patents in India. It was a very, this is you can say a landmark event that happened in intellectual property right laws. So 2005, this is, अगर आपको मतलब पहले से अगर आप पढ़ के गए हैं तो well great, आपकी किस्मत अच्छी थी. But 2005, I would say this is pretty much a question of static legal GK. अगर आपने IPR थोड़ा भी पढ़ा होगा तो ये प्रश्न आपको आ जाना चाहिए. Industrial design specifically refers to, so if you go to the Industrial Designs Act under section 2, आपका clause D, design में कह रहा है and are judged solely by the eye. So purely ornamental value, अब वो तो चीज़ दे नहीं रखी तो, लेकिन यहाँ पे दे रखा है form of expression with aesthetic appeal. Invention is for patents. Functionality आप डिज़ाइन में नहीं जाके बेसिकली आप करा सकते. दिस इज बेसिकली अगेन आपका यू कैन से relating to, you can say patent only, but form of expression and form expression with aesthetic appeal. So option 3 is a better option than option 1, because actually in the designs आपकी ornamental value it's judged by the eye, so aesthetic appeal ही आप protect कराते हैं of the product so that nobody can copy it. Which among the following combinations, I believe इसके ऊपर एक छोटा सा डेमो लेक्चर भी पड़ा हुआ from our online course already in the playlist. Check it out. IPR के ऊपर I think अभी याद आया मुझे. Which among the following combinations is not mentioned in the trips? Again, static GK homework for you. Answer तो आपके स्क्रीन पे दे ही रखा है. Patents, copyrights and data exclusivity. Homework static GK रिवाइज करेंगे, GATT रिवाइज करेंगे, WTO रिवाइज करेंगे और ट्रिप्स रिवाइज करेंगे in and out. There is no way that you can skip that. ठीक है जी, क्योंकि हुआ क्या था कि GATT तक गुड्स तक था, WTO ब्रॉट इन सर्विसेज एंड IPR, साथ साथ फिर हमारे ट्रिप्स भैया आ गए थे 1995. स्टैंडर्ड लॉ एंट्रेंस का स्टैटिक GK का प्रश्न, ये नहीं मैं कह रहा हूँ कि बड़ा आसान सा है, नहीं, बहुत टेढ़ा सा भी प्रश्न, बहुत टेढ़ा ही है इनफैक्ट, बट ये वाले प्रश्नों की आप बहुत अच्छे से तैयारी कर सकते हैं रादर देन फोकसिंग ऑन लेट अस से ईच एंड एवरी एस्पेक्ट ऑफ मुस्लिम लॉ. दिस इज हायर प्रोबेबिलिटी है ना, हमें सक्सेस के लिए मतलब हमारे को यहाँ पे ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट हो सकता है, तो फिर हम यहाँ फोकस करेंगे ना, रादर देन कि इंस्टेड ऑफ ट्राइंग टू कवर आउट ईच एंड एवरीथिंग, आई रादर वांट टू फोकस ऑन आवर कोर स्ट्रेंथ्स. ठीक है जी. Intellectual property rights are dashed in their enforcements. Again, this is very basic. The territorial, one example that I'll give you is Sony's PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 was trademarked in India by some guy. Then Sony had to fight with him. They're territorial in nature, right? The trademark intellectual property disputes are settled by WTO. Now, if they related to copyright, then you go to WIPO. ठीक है जी. अब यहाँ पे मुसीबत ये है कि you can say this is static GK, but again related to IPR as well. Revise WIPO का topic. Revise all of these agencies, WIPO, WTO, ICJ, World Economic Forum. पढ़िए इनके बारे में. इंटरनेट से बहुत आसानी से आपका काम हो जाएगा. अगर किसी किताब में टोटली नहीं भी एक्सप्लेन करके दिए हुए, पढ़ लीजिए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. ठीक है. The formula for making Coca-Cola is protected under. Now again this is again basics of IPR. This is a very बदतमीज प्रश्न. तो अगर KFC की रेसिपी certainly cannot be a copyright, because copyright is for old ma, that is old or original literary, dramatic, musical, artistic works. Trademark is for goods, so that we can identify from which manufacturer that they are coming, and the manufacturer can prohibit other people to copy. Trademark अगर आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं. ठीक है जी. ट्रेड सीक्रेट, फॉर्मूला ऑफ मेकिंग कोका कोला. अब आप इसको कहीं कॉपीराइट में नहीं प्रोटेक्ट करा सकते, ट्रेडमार्क में नहीं. दिस इज प्योरली एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. लाइक KFC की रेसिपी, इट्स अगेन अ ट्रेड सीक्रेट. कैन नॉट गेट देम प्रोटेक्टेड एज अ कॉपीराइट और एज अ ट्रेडमार्क. ठीक है जी. एंड आई बिलीव इसके बाद 5 से 7 ही प्रश्न रहते हैं ऑफ लॉजिकल, विच आर इन फैक्ट एक्सट्रीमली ईजी. We'll get to those in the next week, and that will completely would have solved out the DULB 2020 question paper for you. Do check out the previous 3, explore the playlist, check links in the description. Wishing you all the best and see you soon in the faculty. Take care. Bye.